of detachment and how difficult that is. I just keep running into that same issue every week. Looking at my Facebook page with Shatang just now, I didn't know that you don't have to get posts, that you don't have to receive posts. You can push out and grab the ones that you want to, but I have thousands. I didn't know that everyone doesn't do that. So that's another form of detachment. We fall into this pattern of needing to know. And the world is a fascinating place, and I'm an American consumer in knowledge, but it doesn't matter. So, welcome, and we hope you enjoy the evening. Shvatang and Kanishta. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, thank you, Devi, for the initial introduction. Right, and so now we can start rolling. All right. Today, Kanishta will be taking us into this next episode, if you will, of the Spiritual Awakening series. Actually, Spiritual Enlightenment series. Pardon me.
But before that, I would like to recap what we have learned so far. And some of you have not attended, right? All the three that we had before. Right? So why we are doing these sessions? The main thing that we really want to work on is to learn the art of detachment. So these consciousness, different types of consciousness that we are practicing, this practice will actually help us overcome detachment. Because detachment is, we all have, because this word detachment actually, first of all, we need to understand what is detachment. Detachment doesn't mean that you are not taking care of anyone and you are in your own world, you are isolated. But detachment means you are not influenced by anything that is happening around you. So better word, if you are afraid of using this word detachment, last time we talked about it, you can use this word as non-attachment. Right? Because we are so much attached to so many things. And this attachment will not give us true peace, love, happiness that we are looking for. Attachment will give us negative energy. Will fill us with negative energy. Right? When we are attached to anything, then what happens? We generate the energy of, mainly three energies we generate. We generate the energy of sadness, energy of fear, and energy of anger. Right? So if we are generating these three energies, then we are going away from peace, love, and happiness that we are looking for. So we have to learn the art of detaching from the things that we like, we are attached to. So first consciousness that we...
Before that, it just came into my mind. I don't know if I've shared in the previous episodes, if you will. I'm calling these episodes. But, everything in life flows. That's the kind of law of life, law of nature. Everything flows. Nothing remains attached to nothing, really, eventually. There will be temporary periods of connections, but everything really is in a flowing mode. If you look at the river as it flows, it never gets attached to the bank. Right? It keeps moving, right? They say there's a very nice statement, quote, can't remember who was that. It's a I don't know, an old quote, somebody very learned has said it, so you can Google it, that no man can step into the same river twice. Right? You heard that? Yeah. I'm sure you have heard of it. No man can step into the same river twice.
Because it keeps changing.
So the river changes, but the man changes too. You see? So you are not the same person every time you step into the river anyways.
Even body goes through so many changes. Every cell is changing every day. So many cells, they keep changing.
They say that 50 million cells you shed off your skin every day. 50 million cells.
So it's like every day you are newly born.
Yeah. Your mind has new experiences every day. You're learning so much new every day. So yes, you step into the river, you're a new person, and definitely the river is new too, because you see millions of gallons of water that flow through the rivers downstream. I was also thinking, suddenly this thought came in my mind, even when we walk, for example, if our step, this foot gets attached to the floor, will we be able to take the next step? If our lungs get attached to the oxygen or the breath that it has taken, it says, I won't let go of it. If the blood that is flowing in our vessels gets attached, actually that causes heart attack and stroke. So nothing in the universe really likes to stay in an attached mode. Everything wants to flow. But why do we get into this?
Because we forget.
Attachment kind of.
We forget our true nature. Our true nature is actually detachment. Because only when we are detached, we can be truly loving. Detached and loving.
So in a way, when we're talking about that nature, our inner nature, there's a connection, right? That's why we have these same words, nature, to describe our inner nature, inner consciousness, inner emotions, if you will, and all those things, and the external physical nature. There's a connection. So if that nature remains non-attached, this nature is also designed to be non-attached. And when you go against what it is designed to do, is when you cause disharmony. That's why we have all the problems, right?
Right. So this is the reason why we were practicing different types of consciousness, so that we overcome attachment and we
Step by step, slowly,
right.
less painfully, if you will, right? Sometimes people feel this, oh, very painful.
So the first consciousness that we practiced was the consciousness of
Who remembers?
who remembers? Anybody remembers?
I am soul.
Yeah, good, but there was a particular one that we had talked about.
The first one was actor consciousness. Right? I, the soul, am an actor. So if I remember that I am an actor, I will not be attached to the role that I am playing. Right? Because then I will remember that whatever role I am playing is very temporary. Usually what happens, people get attached to the roles that they play and they forget the souls that they are. So if we remember that I am a soul and not the role that I am playing, then this connection will be the true connection. And then I'll be able to bring that energy of the soul, I will be able to manifest all the qualities that the soul has within. So remembering that I, the soul, am an actor on this world stage, I am playing my role, and when my role is over, then I will shed this costume, this physical body, and then I will go back home. So if I am aware of the whole, it's like a cycle, this is a cycle. If I remember this, then I will not be attached to anything of this world, not to even this physical body, because now I know that this body is like a costume, just like those actors in a play. They are playing their roles, but when their roles are over, They take off their costumes, and they are aware that they are not the role that they are playing. But in their consciousness, they are aware that they're actually, what they are. They know that they are not, maybe, for example, if they're playing the role of a king or a beggar or whatever, they know that this is just the role that they're playing. But in reality, they are not those roles, right? So this
But I
consciousness.
like that about shedding the body, because I don't think we had emphasized on this in the previous 2-3 times when we have talked about or even recapitulated about the act of consciousness of shedding this body, this relationship, the soul and the body as a costume. Right? This is an interesting thing. I think in the recent spiritual passage that we read in the morning,
Yeah.
this had come, and that time I thought that this is something we didn't really touch upon too much. Maybe we may have talked about it, but thank you for bringing this up.
Yeah, because this is very important, because we get attached to this physical body so much.
So in a way, I can feel as if just like we would be wearing this costume of, say, a wizard or a king or whatever, and so we'll take that off and put it on a peg, right, or something, or a hanger, and then go home. So if I take my physical body and hang it there and go and rest in the soul world, is that how?
Yeah, and see how light you will feel with no body at all.
Yeah. So, oh, my body
Right?
is hanging on that peg or the hanger or whatever.
Yeah, and then
Close
you are
eye.
so light.
Yeah.
It's like a, like a baggage.
Yeah, the body is a baggage too.
Right? Yeah.
70 kilograms, 80 kilograms, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right?
See how
So
you feel light when you are asleep. You don't remember that you have this body.
Yeah.
Right? At that time you are so light. You don't remember anything. And
So
then
that's
you
a
are so
natural detachment of the soul from the
Yeah.
body, but temporary.
temporary. Yeah.
And but that also is happening when you're asleep, so you really can't truly enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
So if I'm awake and experience that detachment from the body, I can experience the joy of that detachment
Yeah, and
or
also,
non-attachment.
yeah, and also you feel so refreshed after you get up. So think about it, if you practice this awareness throughout the day, then you will be refreshed the whole day because you will be light. Because you have this thing in your mind that I am not this physical body. This is just a costume that I am wearing.
Shall we do a quick
Yeah, sure.
few minutes?
Yeah, we can
Huh?
guide
All right.
us.
All right. Does everybody want to do that quick? Huh? And as if you're getting rid of your body as your costume. So remind yourself that you're a soul, a tiny point of light. A soul that's playing all the roles that you play through the day, through this lifetime, and through the numerous lifetimes that the soul has gone through. And through different lifetimes, you wear different costumes of the body. In one lifetime, your body could be big. In another lifetime, the body could be small. In one, it could be tall. The other, it could be short. In one, it could be a male costume. The other, it could be a female costume. But whatever it is, just like an actor that takes off its costume after the play is over and puts it on a peg or a hanger for others to use later, or for him or her to use the next day. Let us also see can shed, or at least take off for a little bit, this costume of the body. See if it is too tight. The tighter the costume, the more difficult it becomes to take it off. So try to loosen it. Actually, the interesting thing is, even if a costume is tight, when you take it off many times and put it on again many times, then it kind of tends to loosen the costume, making it easier to take it off subsequently. So make this practice today. Make it happen for yourself. Taking off the costume of your body and putting it on a hanger and taking it to your closet and hanging it there safely for you to use the next day. And meanwhile, you are free. Just a tiny point of light. You feel so light because now you don't have to carry your body. Experience the lightness. How beautiful that feels. How amazing this experience is. See, the energy has changed in this room right here. For yourself, the experience is becoming more amazing, more beautiful, more subtle every moment. As if you never had a body. As if you don't want to ever have a body again. Shanti.
That was a good experience. See how when we bring about this change in consciousness, that affects the way we feel, right?
So the way we think changes the way we feel.
Yeah.
Consciousness is thinking, right? It's the way we are thinking, so it changes the way we feel, and then the way we interact, the way the energy gets created around us, the way the atmosphere changes. See, right now, just a very different energy seems to be here
It
in
feels
this,
so light.
suddenly as if, something very different is percolated into this room.
Everyone is feeling like that, right? Light
Yeah.
energy. So we are the creators actually. When we are light, then we can bring that lightness in the surroundings.
Yeah.
That's what we learn.
I almost don't want to speak now.
Yeah, that's why I am also slowing down.
We can end this.
I have that cotton in my head again.
We can see it in your face actually.
Yeah.
See, when you are experiencing that, it shows on your face, it shows in your eyes, it shows in your interactions, it just changes everything around you.
And interestingly, this is infectious.
Yeah, it is.
When you are light, whoever comes close to you will also change. And this is what we say, that when we change, we can change the world. Self-transformation leads to world transformation.
Yeah, they say when you're hot, everybody around you becomes hot.
Yeah.
When you're cool, everybody becomes cool. Right?
Okay, so this lightness, feeling of lightness, is a good step to move towards the second consciousness that we discussed. The second consciousness was the consciousness of being a traveler. Remember? We all are travelers. So the quality of an expert traveler is, expert traveler will carry only those things that are needed for the journey. Right? Power to pack up, yes. So similarly, in this world, our life is also like a journey. We are on this journey. So we need to learn the art of packing inside. What do I need to pack inside so that I stay light all the time?
So do we also need to do something at the physical level, like physical decluttering?
Yeah, definitely.
You have been doing this, right? You're starting to do this, you said, Debbie, that reduce the number of things you have.
Yeah. That way, we don't have to think that, this or that, what do I need to carry? Less things, you will think less, because you will have less choices.
Less choices.
Otherwise, too many things. That happens when we go to get something, in the market, and we see there's so many different. The other day we went to get some screws, and there were so many different varieties of screws. We got confused.
There were wood screws, metal screws, concrete screws, grey screws, white screws, golden screws. So finally, what I said is I couldn't take them. I said I'll let my neighbor just get screws, whatever. I just couldn't understand. There's some with a Phillips head, some with a flat head, some with straight head, some with curved head. I don't know, it just was mind-boggling.
So
Yeah.
more choices, more confusion.
No confusion.
Right? That's why if we have less things, few things, then we have less confusion and less things to think about.
One of the things I was saying, that one time somebody asked me, why do you like to wear white? And I said, of course, white because it signifies purity and peace and all that. But also it makes my life easier because I don't have to mix and match colors. So white matches with white very easily. So it's very easy.
In math, it's called the fundamental principle of counting.
Which one say it?
Fundamental principle of counting. If you start putting lots of choices, it's multiplied. Like what you did is you mentioned the type of screw, then you have the size of screw, and then you have the length, the Phillips head and whatever, and it's multiplied.
Yes.
So if there's 10 of these, 3 of those, it's 30 right there.
Right.
And then, and every choice, it's multiplied, so you
Correct.
end up with thousands going through your head, and
Yeah.
you can't choose.
Can't choose, yeah.
FPC, fundamental principle of counting.
The fundamental principle of counting. Thank you for sharing. You're a math teacher, right? So thank you for adding that for everyone. Wonderful. And so we talked about traveler. Is there anything else you want to say? And I remember we talked about the diamond consciousness too with
Yeah,
that.
we will come to that. So
Okay.
this is the second one we were talking about, the traveler consciousness that will help us detach from all the things that we possess, both the outer resources and our inner resources. Outer resources includes all the things that we see with our physical eyes, all the possessions that we have. So we will work on that, less things. So we will detach one by one from all the possessions. And then there are inner resources also. Inner resources in the form of our thoughts, our feelings, our memories, emotions,
Intentions.
yeah, intentions. That's a big one,
Mhm.
right?
I don't understand that.
Your motives.
Your motives, your intention, whatever you are doing, what is the intention behind that action? That's so important. So
Am I doing it because of a selfish ulterior motive? Or I'm doing it just for the pure desire to serve?
yeah, or to show off, or I'm doing just to show off to people. So that intention is important, right? So getting detached from all these, I am not my thoughts, I am not my feelings, I am not my emotions. So what is the use of getting attached to all these? So basically the idea is again to detach ourselves from the possessions that we have, and also the outer resources and also inner resources. That way we can stay light and we can travel light as well, and we can enjoy each and every moment of our life. Otherwise, too many things, too much of heaviness, right? And then we talked about that if we carry a lot of luggage, heavy luggage, then we at the counter we have to pay. So similarly in this life also, if we carry a lot of bags and baggages, we have to pay off. We get angry, we get upset, then we waste so much. So that's like paying.
To the fine. Paying the fine.
Paying the fine, yeah.
And what if you're carrying contraband stuff? Negativity would be contraband stuff, right?
Yeah,
You won't be able to pass through.
right.
They will catch you at the customs. If you have too much negativity, right?
That's
Toxic stuff,
Yeah.
right? If you have a toxic stuff, that's like meth, right? No?
Yeah.
Like cocaine. It's toxic. Then contraband, it's contraband.
Yeah, we carry so many toxic thoughts also.
Yeah.
We keep thinking about the past and then, over and over.
Mm.
And then this is how we bring that toxicity in our mind, and that makes us even more heavy, right? So we talked about that in traveler consciousness, how we should travel light at every step. Just think about it and see and watch. Pay attention to what you are carrying in your mind.
And also we talked about that on a journey, as if you're going on a train, then you will have some people get on at a
Yeah.
particular station and then get off, and you might interact with them and develop some good conversations and so on and so forth. But you know that they have their own onward journey, you have your own onward journey. So if we look at this lifetime, for example, from birth to death, we can look at it as between two stations.
Yeah.
And between two stations we have these friends and family and all that, but they have their own onward journey, we have our own onward journey. We get down at this station, they might get down at another station. So,
This
just like
understanding.
co-travelers,
Right.
we're all co-travelers.
So we don't get attached to anybody, right? Because we know that everyone has to go their own way. Right? So that was the second consciousness, and the third consciousness that we practiced was diamond consciousness. So we talked about how diamonds are formed, because of due to extreme heat and temperature and pressure, carbon gets transformed into diamond. So similarly, in this life also, when we go through rough situations, rough things in our lives, those things they have come to us so that we can shine like a diamond. We become strong. So we have
Diamond is actually the hardest thing. It can be used to cut metal, iron. In industries they use that.
right. So always focus on that this is who I am. I am that diamond. I am that sparkling diamond. Don't look at the carbon, but look at the diamond. Because if you look at the diamond and not the carbon, then you will always feel elevated. Right? Because your mood will change. Well, how do you feel when you look at the diamond? You are in a jewelry store and you look at a diamond, how do you feel? Immediately you feel so happy.
It is sparkling.
Yeah.
It's shining or reflecting really the light that is falling upon it, because of its different faces.
Yeah.
Clean, yeah. And we talked about the more faces it is, it has,
The
the
more
more
it
expensive
reflects. Yeah.
and more expensive it is. So if I create a multifaceted personality, then so multifaceted personality would be when I allow a lot more challenges to come and punish me and cut me in different ways.
And the more then I will be able to manifest my diamond qualities, because that will give me an opportunity to use my inner values that I have inside. Tolerance.
You can see
like,
through it, really, right? A
Yeah.
diamond. So people will be able to see through us into, like the transparency would also be there, right? People will be able to see through us and to our qualities, and also we'll be reflecting God's qualities.
Right. So it's a beautiful consciousness to practice, diamond consciousness. And the next one was
Guest. Did we talk?
trusty consciousness.
Trusty.
We
We
talked
didn't talk
about
about guest. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. We were going to talk about guest, but we.
Trusty consciousness. That was also a beautiful consciousness to practice, because if I remember that I am a trustee, there will be again lightness. I won't be attached to anything because I know that this thing does not belong to me. I live like a trustee, just like they have trustees at the temple or other places.
At the church.
The church also, no?
No.
Do they have the trustees? Trustees. At the church, at the temple, right?
In
So they-
universities, right? And they,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that way,
Stewards is another word. so-
stewards, yeah.
yeah. So
do you mean of the body? So
trustee of the temple, trustee of the church. So that means they're taking care of everything, all the activities that are happening there, but they are not owning anything. So they're taking good care of everything, but at the same time, they have this thing in their mind that this does not belong to me. So that makes them light. So similarly, if we also
So
remember.
in other words, we won't misuse those
Yeah,
things.
and also, so that's
they
what I
don't
said, that
misuse
they will take good care of it.
Right, right.
They will not misuse it, taking good care of it. Like if somebody is giving you their car, that I'm going for a month, can you please take care of my car? So you will take good care of that car, because that car does not belong to you, that car belongs to your neighbor. So you take that responsibility that yes, this person has given me this thing, so I am now going to take good care of this, so that I can return this car to that person when he's back.
So I'll take care of this body nicely, because this body is something that doesn't really belong to me. It has been given to me, entrusted to me to take care of, to do the best I can with it, to serve humanity, to serve God's children. I take care of it, and all the physical belongings also have been provided to me, but they don't belong to me. So my car, my house, my spouse.
And this is how we can detach ourselves from all these things.
Yeah.
And we won't
So-
be attached, because nothing belongs to me, so why to get attached to anything?
Yeah, my family, my neighbors, my this, that, whatever we think of, my responsibilities, my job, my profession, my titles, right? All these things, we get so attached to them. It's just been given to me. There's no one who can hold on to any title for the rest of their lives, right? It never happens. If you become the president, you can only become the president for 2 terms, really, right? Yeah, unless
8
they
years.
change, huh?
8 years maximum.
Maximum. Unless Trump changes the constitution
Oh
completely.
my gosh.
But if you die, you can't take any of that with you.
Yeah.
Anyways, very
Give
good.
the example of Alexander the Great.
Yes,
Right?
exactly, right.
Yeah,
Alexander the Great. Wonderful.
right. And also we talked about the 7 Ps. 7 Ps.
Correct.
We don't.
I was thinking that we do a little bit of meditation about each of these consciousness. So take them through that.
Yeah.
Just quick ones.
Right.
So I was thinking that we already did about
The
this
actor.
actor and leaving the body
Yeah.
and like hanging it up there and then going and retiring.
Yeah.
We could do that for a traveler again.
Yeah. Sure.
I want to take us through that.
Sure. You ready for that?
Yeah.
So let's sit with this awareness that I, the soul, am a traveler. In this journey of life. I want to stay very light. Being a traveler, I, the soul, would like to carry only what is necessary and relevant and important for my journey. So let me go within and check the bags and baggages that I am carrying at this moment. See your mind as a big bag. Maybe you can imagine your head open up like a suitcase. And in this suitcase, you see what you are carrying. Different types of thoughts. Watch your thoughts. Are these thoughts really needed? So check these thoughts that you are carrying in your mind and get rid of all those thoughts that you feel are not needed. Thoughts that are making your luggage heavy. The emotions, the intentions the beliefs, the memories. Have a look at all these in your bag, in your suitcase, and get rid of all those things that you feel are not needed. Take this moment to arrange your suitcase in such a way that your suitcase doesn't get heavy. Let it be very light so that you can enjoy your journey. Oh, Shanti.
And also see yourself traveling through time and space, a point of light. Alone, guided just by God's light. And you see each one traveling through their own time and space. They too guided by God's light. Each one moving towards their final destination, their most elevated state, towards their own purpose. God's light is guiding you. So is it guiding all others on this planet. So see yourself again and again in this four-dimensional construct of time and space, and you traveling across, and everyone else traveling across as well, independently. Om Shanti.
So how was it? Were you able to check your bag and baggage?
Yeah, very nice.
So important, right?
I like this metaphor of the head opening up like a suitcase, like a bag, like a laptop bag, for example. And especially when something you have to carry on your shoulder, right? You don't want it too heavy. Get rid of the things, right? Especially when you go to work every day, come back, sometimes you start having so many things. Yeah.
And many times we don't even check what we are carrying. We keep putting things in the bag, and every day we carry, and one day we realize, oh, it has become so heavy, and then we see that, oh, all sorts of unnecessary things were lying there in the suitcase, the bag that I carry every day.
Yeah, crackers that were 2 years old. Candy that's totally melted and ruining the
And the
bag.
chewing gum that gets stuck.
Yeah, right, I see that, yeah. Sometimes that happens, I agree.
So that constant cleaning is very important. Another thing, apart from checking what you have in your bag, at the same time cleaning the stuff
Right.
that's lying there so long. Right?
And it's like when you're doing that, you can count on Maya trying to grab your attention and bring you back.
Bring you back or take you to wrong places.
Right,
Right.
right.
Maya,
have
the
to learn
illusion.
to ignore it
Yeah.
and keep going.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for saying that actually. Because first is you have to have the ability to recognize what is illusion and what's real. Maya is illusion, right? So I think the rule of thumb that I see is all that you can see physical is an illusion. All that you can't see, can't even feel, but you know it deep in your heart is the truth, is
It's
real.
the reality.
What is real you cannot see. What you can't see is never real. This was in one of the spiritual passages. What you can't see
I like that.
is never real. And what is real, you cannot really see. That's a beautiful rule of thumb that I have realized. If I can see this cell phone, it's really not real. And really, cell phone is not real, right? It's the most unreal thing, right? All this. The social media attached to this, the craziness of conversations and information. And that's what it is. See?
Yeah, nowadays we see the jewelry is also, they look so real, but they're not real,
Artificial.
Oh, right.
right? They look so real. Diamond, like diamond looks real, but when you look at the price, you will know that this is not a real diamond,
Everything.
right?
Sometimes they do sell the cheap, unreal diamonds as real diamonds, and right. So that's all Maya. That's what it is. The world will try to sell us all these different things, making it seem so real for us. Oh, you have to have that. You have to grab. You have to more money, more cars, more houses, more spouses, more this. More and more, more and more. That's what people.
So people think that the more they have, the more happy they will become.
That's
know?
the illusion right
Yeah.
there. See?
But the more you have, the less happy you are going to be.
Right? And that's good. Now the diamond. I was thinking just a little bit, and we can talk about servant too in a little bit. But shall we go into diamond consciousness
Yeah,
also?
sure. We can go.
Do that
Yeah.
experience. We're having such a lot of good time
Yeah,
here.
because it feels as if we are doing it. We are doing it again, but still it feels new.
Yeah, every
Right?
time we do it.
Every time you do
So
it.
shall we try?
Something we can see but not real. How about sun we can see? It is not real.
Yeah. What do you think?
Mm.
You see, what if you understand from the soul point of view? The soul is metaphysical, and that's what is real. And in the soul consciousness, there's nothing physical. And if you look at all the physical too, I've talked about it so many times, even from scientific point of view, what they are finding really is that if you take any physical object and you go inside it, first of all, as I have said, if you look at the molecules, it's made up of molecules, made up of then atoms and subatomic. Number one thing, it's very interesting to understand. On the superficial surface, everything seems so different, so distinct. But as you go down, the distinctness keeps going away and it begins to look more similar. Molecules begin to look more similar, but little different. Atoms begin to look similar. Subatomic is just the same. There's no difference.
And it's mostly space.
And it's 99.99999
Empty
space. It's just empty space. So you see how at the lowest or the deepest part, it's really similar. It's just one unified field, really. Everything comes to unity. And they said that they have really found that if you take away all of these material things, what is left is just background radiation, background golden red light. And even those tiniest particles that you can think of, you take it, they come in and out of existence. It's like really energy. It's not even matter. So you think you're seeing this, but it doesn't really exist. It's 99.999999999% space. 0.00000 whatever 1% is that matter. And even that matter is really not matter. It's moving so fast. Everything is moving really at the speed of light, and it changes into energy. It's really energy. Everything is energy.
The river and the banks.
Yeah. Neither the river is really river. Neither water is water. It's just an illusion that gets created based on what we perceive it to be.
Your brain interprets it that way.
Correct. That's how we are taught to interpret also. There is nothing that we know of has not already been told to us through either our families, our friends, our teachers, our social media, news, or whatever. There is nothing in this physical world that we know of that has not been told by anybody else.
We
So
keep gathering information from
Correct.
everywhere.
Somebody has told us that this is a table. Anything that looks like this is a table, and therefore we call it a table. That's all. So now, because somebody has told it to be a table, it becomes a table. If somebody else is being told right from childhood and nothing else, no other information, to call it as a bed, you look at it as a bed. Makes sense? So it is our brain creating tricks. And really it is the illusion that it's creating that is creating tricks for us. We create our own illusion, and therefore we trick ourselves.
And then we get trapped, right?
We get trapped in that illusion. Anyways, shall we go into diamond consciousness, or we can do that later? What do you think? We'll have enough time.
Yeah, we can do that.
Want to experience diamond consciousness?
Sure, please go ahead and do
All
it.
right, sure, let's do it. Yeah, this experience is really enriching. All right. Again, relax. See yourself as a diamond. Let's go straight to the crux of the matter. What do they say? Cut to the chase. You are a diamond. That's it. You're nothing but a diamond. A priceless, invaluable diamond. A diamond that has gone through intense stress and strain, and has developed into the beauty that you are. The multifaceted personality, the many surfaces, the many faces that reflects God's light. You've become so flawless, a diamond, that you can shine God's light through in its purest form, that you become transparent. And as you shine God's light, you begin to shine God's virtues. His love, His energy to everyone that you meet and everyone across the world. So hold this image of you, a diamond, that's rotating round and round and round, and God's light falling upon you, reflecting off the numerous surfaces that you have shining through you, reflecting and refracting through you onto you. And this light spreading across the world. You are a priceless, invaluable, flawless diamond. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Good. Feel good. See, feel your value increasing. Now you can also see your the diamond becoming bigger and bigger and bigger.
And the more values we use in our life,
The more
the more
valuable.
valuable diamond you become.
See its color changing. See the surfaces, new surfaces getting created. More the surfaces, more the shine, more the sparkle.
And the more you are connected to God, the more you'll be able to hold on to those values, because you will remember that being a child of God, I also inherit the same qualities that God has. And God is the ocean of love, ocean of peace, ocean of light, ocean of everything. So I also begin to remember all those qualities. Because why we are not able to manifest the qualities? Because we forget. So we have to remember that I am a very precious diamond, very valuable diamond. And I can increase my value by staying connected to God.
Beautiful.
Right.
Thank you. And then we can go into that trusty consciousness too. We can
Yeah.
take a little experience of that too.
Right.
Oh, you
So
take it.
we also talked about, I think we forgot to talk about the connection between trust and trustee.
Yes.
Remember?
Last time we forgot about that, and
Yeah.
I guess we can talk about that, and then you can take
Right.
us into that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if we can create that inner trust, and therefore I can create God's trust in me, that God trusts me. You see, the neighbor will also give you the car to hold on to only if he trusts you. So if I can create that much trust within me and trust in that God trusts me, then God will entrust all his qualities to me. Right? Isn't that true?
And yes, then one is that God is trusting us, and another is that we have to show it to Him also. The more we show through our actions, the more trust will get developed over
Yeah.
time.
So say
And
for
the more
example,
opportunity we will get.
right?
It's
So
like if you are in an office and if you do something, that is really in favor of, whatever has been assigned to you, you are doing it, very beautifully, then
diligently, yeah,
diligently or whatever, So then the boss will have trust. He will develop trust on you,
yeah.
and then this is how you will get more assignments, and
More,
then maybe
more
more
promotion.
promotion.
Yeah, and so
So
on.
then your personality will change,
Yeah, you
right?
develop more, yeah.
You begin to develop more. So this is how, same thing is with God. The more
So,
we,
for example, if God is giving me some virtue or
yeah,
say some talent,
right,
what am I doing with that talent?
exactly, yeah. The more I use the talent, the
In a
more,
good way,
in a good way, definitely.
right? So, yeah, what would be the best way, say, if I know how to paint, or if I know how to sing, or if I know how to do something, using it in God's task
Yeah,
to serve humanity
yeah.
would
And
be
then, and also it's very important to understand that, the qualities, the talents, whatever I have, it's not mine. So live like a trustee.
so trusty.
They
Yeah.
all belong to Him. I've
Him.
been gifted by God these qualities. So if I develop this trustee consciousness, then what will happen? Then I will not have ego.
Ego. One is ego, and I won't misuse it. We've already
Yeah.
talked about misuse. Then talk about ego, but
Mhm.
also the trust
Yeah.
that God, if I use it in the right way,
Mhm.
then God will give me more.
More opportunities will come to you, and you will be able to
And
develop
more
your,
more qualities He will give me, more talents He will give me.
you will be able to develop your talents. You will see the growth happening. You will grow in that direction,
Yeah, so
right?
true. That's so true. Actually, I've seen people, with such wonderful talents, such amazing talents, and then how much they misuse it just for their own entertainment
And also
or
they
for their own
develop,
benefit.
they get that ego that
That
this
this
is my talent,
right.
you know.
Yeah, that's true. And oh, I paint so well, and then there'll be these galleries that they will create, and then I'll become a multi-millionaire, and so on and so forth. And then suddenly one fine morning they find it, the talent just left them. There's so many stories of this,
And they
that
will not get any opportunities
anymore.
anymore.
It's a
So
temporary period. If I want that temporary benefit, right, then so be it. But then that talent remains with me for a very temporary period of time.
yeah, it will
If I
not
want,
grow,
it won't
will
grow,
not,
it won't
grow.
last long, it
Right.
won't be carried forwarded to my future lifetimes and so on
Mhm.
and so forth.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it might be taken away from you.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe something might happen,
Right?
and that talent will be taken away from you because you misused it.
Like say for example, if I know how to sing very well,
Mhm.
right, and I keep using it to create my ego, of course, but my mansion and my business and become millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire, but I'm not serving anybody with that. I'm not using it to serve God at all. Then that talent will go away, right?
Will
You
go
see
away.
that. You see that with these big singers and everything, how quickly it just vanishes for them.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to be very careful of how we are using, whatever talents, whatever qualities, whatever we get from God. We don't misuse them. We don't use it for our personal benefits, but have that kind of awareness that this is not mine. Me and mine, actually, that is the big. These two words, me and mine, they create a lot of problem. There comes the ego. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Me and mine. If you get rid of these two words,
So in other words, I was just thinking, that's very good. Thank you for saying that. But I was just thinking, say if your neighbor gives you the car to drive, and 1 month later when he wants the car back, he said, no, 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 it's mine. So, right? So next time he will never give you the car.
yeah,
Right? And so by using his car, you had a benefit. Now you had one car, but now you have two cars and you can use that. But next time he's not going to give you. Because you felt, one is if, of course, if you pour coffee on the seat and everything, then he's not going to give you because you misuse the car. But if you also say it's mine, or you do it to sell contraband stuff again, right? You go around selling meth or something, right? Then he's not going to give you the car. So if you use, in other words, I'm just trying to correlate the two, that if you misuse it, you use it for wrong things there, and in other words, you don't care for it, you use it for wrong things. Also, if you say it is mine,
You attach.
yeah, when it's really not yours, then you're going to lose it. Instead of earning the trust, you're actually going to lose that trust.
And the actress who is cute and young and blonde
Hmm.
and gets a lot of attention for that and gets attached to that as who she is.
Yes.
And then as she's 80 and gray
Yeah.
and not old, and she doesn't, then she has lost who she thought she was.
Right.
so usually many times, most of the times, people, they get attached to their talents, and they think that this is who they are. So,
I am a painter.
I am a painter, right?
I am a
So,
singer.
I am an artist.
I am an artist. Well, you practice art. How can you be an artist?
Right.
They get
Right.
attached to their talent, and this is how they lose their self-image,
Yeah.
That's true.
right? Their real image, that they are souls, they forget that. Because these things, they're temporary, they will be taken away, definitely, A singer today is no more going to be a singer after, when she turns 90, right?
And I was thinking that also, you get so many blessings
Mhm.
as you try to serve. Use your talents in a good way.
Mhm.
You're using it to serve mankind. It, because that's what God wants us to do. The blessings that you get because of doing that. Like you painted the wall, right? And the blessings that you get right away.
And the blessings actually help
Yeah,
help you grow,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The blessings from everyone, blessings from God, blessings from everyone whomever you served. Those blessings, they will help you to move forward in your life, in your talent, whatever talent you have, you will grow more.
And in a way, it would be like almost like capital investment,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because now anybody who enters into that room will see this beautiful paint and the vibrant color. It's really vibrant. I'm glad, thanks to I don't know what, because I wanted a color similar to this, and it's so difficult to understand from those cards what is the right
But instantly, when we saw that, we instantly, both of us liked that color,
color
right? It
because
was instant.
has such a
So-
vibrant color and so beautifully painted, so beautifully. I mean, I'm just thinking it's like professional painting. I mean, there's just no like normally when there are brush things and
Yeah.
marks
Brush
and all
marks,
that,
and
there's
there's
just
nothing like
nothing.
that.
It's so
like,
perfect.
yeah.
And I was thinking anybody who goes in there will see, wow, beautiful, and they may not know who did it, right? 10 days from now, 10 years from now, nobody would know. But whoever will go there will say, whoever did it, may that person live long, or may that person experience happiness. Such a beautiful job. You see, forever you create a source of blessing for yourself.
That's good. Okay, so we will do some meditation now.
Yeah.
You want to say something more?
No, this is good.
Okay, so let's practice this trustee consciousness. So see yourself as a trustee of everything that you have in your life. Nothing belongs to you. Everything that you have belongs to God, the Supreme. Whatever you possess, your home, your job, the position you're in, the money that you have, even your own body, all the physical relationships. Nothing belongs to you. You have been given all these things because because God has full trust in you. He knows that you can take a very good care of whatever you have in your life. So see yourself as a trustee, living a life of a trustee. Every moment you are aware that I am a trustee. And in this trustee consciousness, you feel very light. There is no me and mine. So there is no ego, no attachment, no attraction. Because now you know that nothing belongs to you. Oh, Shanti. And also remember that you are an instrument of God, an instrument consciousness. Remember? This was the last consciousness we discussed last time. I am just an instrument, godly instrument. Okay. So this was a recap of all the 3 sessions that we had. Right?
Yeah, that was what
Today,
wonderful.
today we have time, right? We have
Yeah.
time, so we can talk about another consciousness, that is servant consciousness.
Yeah.
That's very,
We have been thinking of talking about servant consciousness ever
Yeah.
since we finished the first one, but
Yeah.
now I guess this is a good time to do it because that's a very different kind of a consciousness and it's a little difficult to really understand clearly. But since we all have gone on this journey for a little bit, we have understood quite a few things. I think now is the time to explore this. And even before that, I just wanted to say that, yeah, I want to kind of acknowledge everyone who comes to contribute with their presence, with the energy, because every time when we're meditating, more and more positive energy gets created. And this, each one of these is almost also like capital investment. So say right now, if you have created positive energy here, and you go, and then tomorrow somebody comes and feels, oh, this place is so peaceful, but there was a contribution because of you too. Says, who did this? They will not know you, but right away there'll be this feeling that
it will get added to your account.
accounting. Oh, bless the heart of the person who meditated here yesterday. I feel the positive energy. So even every little bit of contribution that we do, because in the world out there, there's so much to do. There's so many distractions. Often doing anything good becomes almost like the last thing, the last priority. We have to take care of this and this and this and this and this. It's never ending. And so when we take out time like you are right now, and little contributions that you put in, little bit of whatever you do, physical and mental and financial and everything gets added up. And all these create the blessings that will, and I'm sure that's what you're somewhere feeling. I feel that all the time, that there's some invisible force, invisible energy, and I know it's God's energy helping me move forward. I know that it's almost like 2% my effort and almost 98, 99% is like some invisible force helping me move towards my purpose. And every now and then, as I digress away from my purpose, that I feel that energy is bringing me back to my purpose. So congratulations to you too.
And also those who are online, they
And
are also
online, contributing as well.
from a
And
distance.
right? And some are actually hosting this call, like this go-to-meeting thing. So the hosts also, because of them, so many people are able to connect. That's again another capital investment right there. All right, good. So servant, because the thing is, Raj Yoga, when we talk about Raja Yoga, as I was mentioning last time, Raja Yoga means Raja, and Yoga, Raja means king. That the consciousness that we are truly kings of ourselves, that mastery kind of thing, self-sovereignty kind of thing, that we are in control of ourselves. Right? We are in control of our thoughts, we are in control of our feelings, we are in control of our emotions, we are in control of the behavior, our intentions, our memories, our personality, how it develops. We are creating it because we are the creators, creator consciousness right there. Right? So we are the creators, and therefore we have control over what we are creating. If you are creating dough, it's in your hand. If you want to make it soft dough, this is hard dough, right? A little tough, a little less watery, right? Because there are different types of things. Like puri, you need it a little tough, right? And for normal rotis, you need it a little soft. So it's up to you because you're creating it. So that kind of mastery, that kind of self-sovereignty. But then how does this fit? This almost seems like a paradox, a servant consciousness.
Yeah, it is. It it is like servant leadership that they
Yeah.
call nowadays. They have come up with this term servant leadership. So on one hand you are servant, and on another hand you see that you are a leader. So they say that you cannot be a good leader unless you are a servant.
Yeah.
So you have to be, first of all, is serving the others, serving, that should be natural in you. If you want to lead, if you want to lead someone, then unless you serve them, you cannot lead.
Yeah. So we can explore this a little more, and I was thinking there's an acronym. You like acronyms.
Yeah.
I don't know, you can help me create this. But I saw somewhere online that somebody had created this. So S would stand for, say, selfless,
Selfless, okay.
right? Because, and we can go deeper into each one of this and how our lives are so selfish, me and mine, and so we have to redefine this self, correct? And we have already talked about it so much, that I am a soul, that's self. And I was
So I think serving starts right there. From there, we have to start serving the soul first.
start
Before-
serving the soul too, right?
First is
Understanding
serving,
who we are.
yeah, serving the self, serving the soul with what the soul needs. And then, just like we know that this body needs this much of food, this quality food will help the body to grow. Similarly, we need to know what will serve the soul so that soul can grow more.
Yeah. So
You
it
know?
needs God's love, God's energy, God's
Yeah.
connection,
Yeah, it
and
needs-
God's knowledge, God's powers. That's its food
That's the
that I have
food.
to feed the soul.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So selflessness, and I was, I don't know how many of you have. I was referring to this in the morning, that.
And people actually, before we go forward, people get confused with self-care and being selfish.
Right.
This is very important understanding that we have to draw a line where I'm moving from being caring for the self versus I'm becoming more selfish. So taking care of yourself doesn't mean that you're selfish. Taking care of yourself is as if you're preparing to serve others.
Right, right. So that's what I was trying to get at. So good, thank you for saying that. In a way, it comes down to intention. So the intention is about me. Then I'm doing something for myself at the expense of others. Whereas if the intention is I'm taking care of myself so I can serve others.
That is called as pure intention.
Pure intention, right?
Yeah.
So the intention has to be outward while you're even working inwards. Your focus is inwards, but your intention is outwards, right? Serving the world. And I don't know if you have read that book I was referring to in the morning by Ayn Rand, the Virtue of Selfishness. No.
It's a little book, right?
Yeah, it's a
Little
thin
book.
book, but it's an
Yeah.
intense book.
Yeah,
And,
I tried to read it, but I was not able to get it. I
No.
think I need to reread it again.
No.
Long time back,
So,
I started.
but Ayn
reading that
Rand,
book.
have you ever heard of Ayn Rand?
Yes,
Yeah, the book Fountainhead.
yeah.
You didn't like that? Okay. But that's perfectly fine. But you know that book, The Virtue of Selfishness, intense book. And actually, what she has done, in a way, some of that word selfishness is strange, because it has such a lot of negative connotation to us. But truly, selfishness is, she has redefined that word. It's really self-care. In a very subtle way, she has said that unless we take care of the self, we really cannot do anything meaningful for anyone else in the world. Right? And I am reminded of that story we read, I think, in Aruna Ladwa's book, that story where this king has this beautiful kingdom where everything is in peace and harmony, and there is a sage who comes there and says, I want to know what's the secret of, all this peace and harmony. So, okay, the king says, I'll give you my chariot, I'll give you my charioteer, I'll give you my horses. You just go for 2 days to look around in the kingdom, then you'll know what is the secret. But
Condition.
the condition is, I'm going to give you this candle, and you have to make sure that it remains ignited or lighted and never gets extinguished throughout the 2 days. So I said, all right, that's a strange request, but it goes. And then 2 days pass by, he comes back, and the king says, did you really get a chance to see? I said, no, I couldn't see anything because I was totally focused on this light. I said, that's the secret. I focus on my inner light, and everything else falls into place. You see, we constantly try to fix outside, and it never gets fixed. So instead of trying to fix outside, fix inside. Make sure that you are right.
Your light is on.
Your light is on.
If your light is on, then you can help others.
Then automatically everything else falls into place. So selflessness and self-care.
And the way to turn that light on is by turning on the switch of awareness. Who am I?
Who am I? Yeah.
That's the simple thing that we have to do. And we keep forgetting, we
Yeah.
have to keep this switch on all the time.
Yeah, this is one light that doesn't consume electricity, and so your electric bill won't be too high at all. So don't worry, it can stay on forever. So yeah, selflessness and selfishness would be servant, the first S of the servant. E would be egolessness. And we talked about this so many times. It's the ego that
So
destroys.
even before that, before going to the E, selfless service means selflessly serving many things, not just the soul, but there are other things as well. How you are serving your every sense organ,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Your mind. Mind is also a subtle sense organ. So how you're serving your mind, how you're serving your eyes, how you're serving your ears, how you're serving your taste buds. So every sense organ, how you're serving, because the sense organs we use all the time, throughout the day.
Yeah.
We use the senses so much. So how we are serving them? If we are using them, then we first need to serve them
Yeah.
before using these senses.
Yeah.
So how we use our sense organs, that's very important. How we serve our sense organs. Not seeing what is not right, not listening to what is not really, important to hear, not eating, and then, or not speaking unnecessary things. That is kind of misusing.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
we are, yeah.
So all this so beautifully
Yeah,
ties to each
all
other.
these consciousness, they are all
Tied to
tied
each other.
together, right?
Yeah.
So serving, each sense organ, and
So-
then not only just serving in that sense, but also how much attention you give to each sense organ.
Mhm.
Every day sitting with, these senses and talking to them. Oh my ear, oh my eyes, oh my tongue. What did you do throughout the day? And if your
It was
ears,
wagging a lot today.
yeah, and then appreciating,
Yeah.
so this has a lot of, actually, not just serving in that sense, but serving each organ, serving each organ of your body.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking that we can, like, then we serve our body, we serve our relationships, we serve
Yeah.
finance,
Right.
money as well. How can we serve money so that money begins to serve us? And I was
Right.
thinking we can go into that in a little bit.
Right, sure. First we
Can go into this acronym
yeah,
a
sure.
little bit, and then we can go deeper and deeper.
Mhm.
So egolessness, that ego or body consciousness, which is like a construct, and
Yeah.
it's a very strange kind of a construct, right? It's like this Legos game that it's a lot that we have to dismantle. I was thinking, what are your thoughts of when you have been trying to work on your ego, sort of, and how in your journey of these 19 years, how this ego has played
Yeah.
its role? Or, I like to look at it as like a snake that kind of lifts
It
its
pops
hood,
up,
pops
right.
up, in so many different ways
Yeah.
and places.
Yeah, because it has become our habit to become body conscious again and again, and ego is the main boss actually. We want to do something, but ego comes in and it does not allow us to do that job that we really want to do.
Right.
Ego comes in, and then we say that there are two parts of ourselves. One is true self, and another is false self. So this false self, the main guy is the ego, that represents the false self, and then it keeps popping up and it does not allow us to go towards the right path. So it keeps blocking our path.
Yeah.
So we have to be very attentive, very vigilant, like a watchdog, that it, even if it is coming in my way, I should have the power to overcome this ego. And that power we can get when we again and again practice soul consciousness, and also staying connected to God. So when I stay connected to God by being soul conscious, I'm able to um, provide myself a kind of protection. It's like a canopy of protection that will help me stay away from ego. I will move that ego away from me.
Yeah.
So,
Instead of ego blocking everything for me, I can block ego off.
yeah,
Pack it up in a box and throw it away.
right.
I take it to the river and let it flow away. Wonderful. So this was E. I was thinking R would be, say, resolute or resilience. Both.
Or maybe, it's very important. R will be respect.
Respect too, yeah.
When
So
you
many
are a
different
servant,
You
you
respect.
have to respect everyone. Like you have to respect your senses.
Respect yourself,
Yourself.
self-respect,
Yeah.
and respect others.
Respect everyone else. So that's a big part of being a servant.
Correct. So in other words, this servant consciousness is not us being subservient. It's not falling down onto your feet or something like that. It's a very elevated kind of consciousness that you're serving others, you're respecting others, you're seeing the good in others, the best in others, and you're also seeing the best in yourself.
Yeah.
So one would be that I let go of my self-respect and respect others, that I'm no good, right? That's either we think we are too good or you're not good at all, right? And when we think ourselves to be too good, then we don't respect others. And when we are thinking ourselves to be nothing and then try to respect others, we really are not, because it's really comparison and all that coming into play. So how I can give myself respect, self-affirmations again and again, reminding myself of such an elevated soul I am.
Yeah.
I'm a child of God.
I'm a diamond.
I'm a diamond. I'm a pure soul. I'm a perfect soul. I'm
And you will
guided.
see that the more respect you give to yourself, the more respect you get from others.
Others as well, right? I think that's a very good point you have just taken up actually, because almost like we all have that desire to be respected and acknowledged and appreciated, right? So when we are waiting for all that to happen from outside, it never comes. And almost like a beggar, right? We get into this begging mode. Hey, please at least appreciate me for what I did. Right? You got to appreciate at least a little bit. Say 2 words at least. Good. Right? That's how we keep begging. And then what do people do to beggars?
Ignore them.
She ignored them and shoo them away. Go, go, go. Go to the next car. Right? That's how they do. So if I create that emptiness, I will attract more emptiness. I'll never be
It's
full.
law of attraction.
Law of attraction again, right? So if I create that feeling that I am respected, and how can I fulfill that desire for respect is I give myself respect. So as if I'm sitting here, but I'm also looking at myself from here, and I am giving myself respect.
So that separation, I have to be clear about that I am a soul separate from this physical body.
Right?
And this soul needs the respect.
Correct.
The soul that I am needs respect.
Yeah. I from me also in a way. It's a separate I from me.
Yeah,
So I am giving respect to me.
right.
And you had said respect was connected with balance, to be in balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Respect yourself and respect others.
Others.
You can't just obsess over yourself.
Correct.
It has to
Yes.
be
And actually,
balanced.
when you start giving respect to yourself, then, like you said, respect will come to you.
Right.
It will come to you. You don't have to don't have to make any efforts. It will be natural.
Correct.
You are giving respect to yourself, and people will start coming and giving respect to
So
you.
it's law of attraction. It's just
Yeah.
because you are full, so you all attract more fullness, more abundance. But I was also, your point is very beautiful. I was just wanting to clarify the self-respect. The self-respect comes from a very pure space. So it's such a pure space that it takes you to your true self, your most authentic self. And so the chance or the probability of you obsessing over yourself cannot even happen, because that happens in the physical realm.
And that will be called as ego.
Ego.
This is where the ego starts coming.
That's where you obsess. Oh, I have such beautiful eyes. Right? That's when you obsess with yourself. And but if you think I am a soul, then there's no obsession. And then you are able to serve others.
And obsession is actually not the quality of the soul.
Exactly. That's an ego
Yeah.
construct right there. Debbie would like to say or ask something.
There was just an article that I came across talking about the latest craze in meditation is to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah,
I mean, it feels
that's not a bad experience either.
It's
You
not
can, and it's not that. It's actually quite helpful sometimes.
really.
Yeah.
I thought it would be body contact.
So what are you looking? That's the intention that we are talking about. So are you looking at your body? Are you looking at your
Your
beautiful
beauty,
eyes?
yeah.
If my blonde hair, oh my lovely hair going up to my feet. No, that's not
Look
what.
and see the
Right.
difference.
So what we've already talked about it. What we see in the physical is actually an illusion, and what is truth is you, the soul. So look at the light within. Look at the soul within.
It's like giving yourself drishti or something.
Exactly,
Oh,
right?
wow.
seeing
No,
the
it-
best within you. Beautiful. Just like respecting yourself. One of the things that I want to, I was saying, and I'm thinking of tomorrow when I do the meditation session, I was thinking, we talk about blessings and giving blessings to others. How about giving blessing to yourself for a moment? So give blessing to yourself. Give drishti to yourself. Drishti is seeing the best within you. Because so many times we beat ourselves up. Yeah, darn, what a horrible you. I'm such a horrible person. I did it again. I can't believe it. That chocolate cake. I did it again. Right? Alright, so that's when we say, hey, you're such a beautiful person internally. Such a beautiful soul. Such a pure soul. Looking at the authentic. And you can give drishti to that. So we did S for selflessness, or what was the other word that we use?
Service.
No,
Egolessness.
no. It's a E was for egolessness.
Yeah.
S was for
Selfless.
selflessness. But there was something else we thought.
Service.
Service. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Serve others.
Okay. Okay. But I thought there was
Serve your
something else.
soul.
Okay. Good.
You
All right.
started off with selfless.
Selfless. Okay. And then so SER was
R is
respect. And resilience. We have already in talking about after consciousness is this resilience, the ability to bounce back despite the challenges, and when we see all that coming to us not as problems but as challenges or opportunities to grow, and that brings the resilience. So that would be Sir. We would be, I was thinking virtuous or viceless.
Viceless, yeah, I think viceless is a good
Viceless or
one, yeah.
virtuous, both.
Right.
So viceless, because if I have vices, you know, then how can I really lead anybody? How can I even serve anybody? Because I'll be so consumed in me and mine and what I want and more, more, more. If say somebody has a gambling habit or somebody has an alcohol habit or something, that wise, somebody just has this, addiction to himself. Yeah, I'm so pretty, I'm so good, right? That kind of thing, that also is going to put me down and not allow me to serve. And then virtues that I see that all the beautiful virtues that I have God has given me.
And that those virtues you use to serve others.
Yeah, right.
Serve yourself and then serve
So
others.
So V for virtuous and viceless.
Right.
So that serve. A for, what do you want to do? I have it.
All rounder.
All rounder. All right, but I.
Do all round service. Not just.
Yes, I had that. I was saying this word. I used this word. Authentic.
Or altruistic.
Altruistic.
Altruistic is
Yeah.
a good one.
Good one. But more
Altruistic
importantly, I was
service.
thinking, because we've already talked about selflessness. Altruism is that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about authenticity.
Okay. Yeah,
that
that's
you,
a good
that
one too.
you have to be really connected to who you really are.
Serving from your heart.
Yeah.
Not serving out of compassion or serving out of compulsion, but serving from your heart.
Correct.
True from your heart. And I like the relationship of a parent and a child. Right from the beginning when the child is born, parents are their servants. They're serving.
Yeah.
But they serve with so much of love, so much of care. They don't serve that, in that intention that, oh, I have to clean that, change the diapers, or no, and this and that. No.
But truly speaking, that's so true. The parents become servants of the child. The child cries, the parent have to run,
To
run,
feed the child,
run, change the diaper, run.
Take care of everything, whatever the child demands.
Yeah. Yeah, servant for the children. And then,
Yeah.
Practically the parent would sometimes become a horse for the
Horse, yeah, whatever a child wants.
child. Oh, I want you to become a horse and I want to ride you. Right? So,
Yeah.
you become a servant. The child will want whatever and you provide to the child. So that was a.
And not only grandparents, also they become servants of their children, grandchildren.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then what do we say for N?
Servant and
Come up with something nice.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice. Right, good.
Noble.
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 Yeah, that's a good one.
Very nice. Yeah, understanding people's needs was what I was thinking, right? Just being sensitive and sensible.
Sensible.
You know, is something sensitive, not in that way that, you know, somebody didn't smile at me, now I'm so mad, but sensitive to people's needs. You know, some people may not speak, but they need things, and how do I respond to their needs? By just trying to tune into their frequency, by first tuning into my own frequency. And if you see, if you go back to what I said, you know what science is saying, that if it had the subatomic particles, when the subatomic particles go away, there's just one unified field of energy, which is what Einstein talked about, one unified field of existence of energy. So my energy and your energy are really the same. We are so connected. There's just no difference actually. So if I can tune into my energy or my consciousness, I can tune into yours too.
Ah, right.
You see?
There's the mirror neuron concept also.
Yeah, in a way. So if I can tune into yours, then I know exactly what you need. And then I can serve you with that. So if you're hungry and I give you water, that won't help. If you're really thirsty and I give you this most elaborate meal, that won't help either. If you want love and I give you happiness, if you want happiness and I give you compassion, it won't help. What you need is what I have to be able to serve. Right? And we can talk about this more in the subsequent sessions. I think this is just, I would say, a starter kit, because there's so much more on the servant
There's
consciousness.
a lot.
Yeah, and so N and then T. T, what do you think? What do I have here? Let me see.
You have to be tolerant.
Huh?
Yeah,
Tolerance.
Tolerance is so
Tolerance.
important when you're serving, because you have to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking what would be the best T, you know. I was thinking about thoughtful,
Yeah, but I think
thorough,
tolerance is really important when you're
beautiful. I agree
serving.
with you.
And you
Tolerance.
have to be tolerant in order to serve others.
Yeah, and the power of love that is associated with tolerance, and how to see the other person not as a different person, but like a child of God too, like a brother or a sister, and then the love that comes into play creates that feeling of tolerance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did we do all
Yeah, I think servant.
servant? So these are the things that we wanted to kind of bring to your kind of attention, so that you can think about it for this week, and then we can come back more into just understanding this deeper.
So, out of all these consciousness, which one do you think is easy to practice?
Which you would like to practice. I'm sure all of them, but
Is there any consciousness which you feel like it's very difficult?
oh no, I would say
Very challenging.
no, I would say which resonates with you right away. Which of these? So we talked about what was the first actor?
Actor, traveler,
Learner,
then diamond,
diamond,
trustee,
trustee,
instrument.
Instrument we talked about, but we didn't talk too much today about the musical instrument and how can I be such an instrument that God's voice truly
Yeah.
transmits through me, like a flute, right?
That is the prayer of St. Francis. God made me an instrument of thy peace.
Yeah, see, beautiful. Thank you.
That's interesting. I never.
So say that again, so that
The prayer of St. Francis,
prayer of Saint Francis.
it starts with, God make me an instrument of thy peace.
God make me an instrument of thy peace. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. I just am repeating it so that it goes into the
okay.
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. And so that's where the servant consciousness is, and we could take a few moments just to see how it says that. So you see, it's a very elevated consciousness, though it may seem paradoxical to a king. But truly speaking, we cannot become kings till we are totally servants. You see, and from the beggar and prince paradox too. You truly cannot become a prince till you really become a beggar, sort of, that. So that beggar consciousness, but not that kind of begging that you're begging for peace, begging for happiness, but truly that feeling that nothing really belongs to you.
Everything belongs. So trusty consciousness.
Trusty
comes with this.
consciousness, beggar consciousness, if you will, Not beggar, I don't want you to look at it as that beggar. But that
Instead of
nothing
beggar,
is
you
really
can.
yours.
nothing.
Instead of beggar,
You
you're
own
trusty.
nothing. You're no. Yeah, but yeah, that's also a good thought. You got it. That nothing belongs to you. Like you have nothing. That kind of thing. So
That way, when something is snatched away from you, then you don't feel bad.
true.
Right?
Because
That
it never
nothing-
belonged.
never-
It was never yours.
Yeah,
Never
exactly.
yours. Yeah. Lovely. Shall we do this couple of minutes and then we can end with that lovely sweet that you have? Again, you have to guess what fruit is that. Alright. And I feel that somehow we have to come up with a way to send all that to them, all your lovely sweets that you make.
To FedEx to them.
Okay. Alright, we'll stop by and give it to you. Alright, so let's create this consciousness for ourselves. I am a servant, a true servant. A servant who is selfless, who is egoless, who is respectful and resilient, who is virtuous and viceless, who is authentic, who is nice and cares for the needs of others. In other words, who is sensitive and sensible to others' needs and requirements, and who is tolerant, who has this deep sense of love for others. So hold this purpose, the vision very clear in your heart and your mind. That you have to serve the whole of humanity. You have to serve yourself. You have to serve the people around you. But you have to also serve the whole of humanity. Serve is servant. One who serves is a servant. So let me be a true servant. Let me be a true server. Not a server who serves based on convenience. If I have enough, after I have fed myself and clothed myself with the best of the best, and so on and so forth, if I have enough or a little bit, then I'll serve. No. A server is one. A true servant is one who is ready to serve at the call of his master. And the master is God. So when God wants me to serve, whoever God wants me to serve, however God wants me to serve, I'm ready and available. Yes, Your Majesty. Yes, my Master. You guide me Shatu. A true servant doesn't have a will of his own, a wish of his own. His master's wish, his master's will is his will, his wish. Your wish is my command. Your wish is my command. So, see yourself as a servant of God, servant of humanity, servant of the universe. I am ready to serve whenever, wherever, and however God and the universe wants me to. Om Shanti. So this is what we're going to explore in much more detailed discussion in the next episode of how I need to serve without my own will. Not out of convenience. Making sense? We serve when it is convenient for us. Is that true service? Is that true service? Or is there more to it? See you next time. Om Shanti. Kanishta has these lovely sweets for you. So if anyone on the go-to meeting has a question, has something to say, you're welcome to, while Kanishta brings the blessing cards and the sweet. So the one who can guess what fruit is in it this time gets 2 sweets then. You have 2 extra. Did I speak it too soon? Okay. All right. So the one who can guess gets 2. All right, a second one. Come.
You want to give?
No, you give, I give.
What's this time?
Okay. My honor, really.
Thank you all for joining us tonight and on one of the most difficult aspects of becoming pure to me. And I'd like to thank Kanishta and Shivtang for presenting such a lovely and knowledgeable and interesting presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Good night.